Exceptional story, Pursuits by Škoda, only on Bloomberg Quint.
Hello and welcome. I am Agam Vakil. This is the Market Wrap. Perhaps some respite offered for those who are long in the markets, considering we did see some advance for the Nifty, advancing by 0.3%, and that's largely following the kind of weakness that we have been used to on the benchmarks. So starting off with your gainers, we have advances in IndusInd Bank, Tata Steel, Yes Bank. So some banks out there, well, seeing a little bit of recovery, especially those which are under pressure or which have been under pressure of late. And we have Indian Oil Corp, and I'm going to address the earnings in just a bit. Hero MotoCorp and Sun Pharma also advancing. On the losing end, however, we have Z Entertainment that's down 5.3%. Axis Bank is something that we are also going to address right now. We have weakness in Bharti Airtel, Titan Company, and Bharti Infratel. In the broader markets, we have 3 gainers for 2 losers. Not much to speak for. Otherwise, of course, an improvement in the advanced decline ratio, but Triveni Turbine, along with the 2 ADAG companies, advancing in trade, gaining over 10%. Quest Corp is also seeing significant recovery today after the kind of weakness the stock has seen. Coffee Day Enterprises locked in another 20% down circuit, of course, following unfortunate circumstances with respect to the company's owner. Sadbhav Engineering, Jai Prakash Associates, Andhra Bank, as well as Bombay Dyeing, all declining in trade. But on that note, I'm going to get in our market editor Neeraj Shah for his perspective. Neeraj, a little bit of recovery, but you wouldn't really want to read too much into it.
I don't think anybody, yeah, you're right, nobody would. Maybe oversold levels, which is what everybody's been saying, and therefore a bit of a bounce there. Don't know. The FI selling the last 2 days slightly slower, so people will attribute that. It'll be interesting to see the number today. But ahead of the Fed meeting, maybe short sellers thought, let's not really chance our arm. What if the Fed surprises really positively and the world markets are really active positively? Then what happens to those short positions? That's probably the only thing, because otherwise, nothing in terms of numbers or data cues or otherwise have really helped the markets today per se. It's not that the results set the stage on fire. I shut in a couple of numbers anyways post-market hours, so nothing out there is either. Again, auto sales numbers due to come out tomorrow, not expected. The Bloomberg Quint dealer survey said that the numbers are not going to be great. So fundamentally nothing wrong. Technically, maybe because oversold, sub the 200-day moving average, consistent downtake, worst July in so many number of years, some 17 years or something, is what Yash's story suggested. So maybe a bit of a small respite. Mid-caps bounce a lot more. And let's see if the Fed obliges and the world markets are active. Maybe some more uptick tomorrow. But I doubt that people will be really going out and cracking those longs in a hurry. Yep, absolutely. Well, Neeraj, thanks for that perspective there. So we're going to be watching out for some of those cues coming in from abroad. But, well, domestically, let's start by talking about Indian Oil Corp. We had earnings there. Well, it was a mixed set, honestly, considering the kind of movement that we've seen. So on a quarter-on-quarter basis, we have seen net revenues rise 4.2%. We have seen net profit, however, decline by as much as 41% quarter-on-quarter. EBITDA margins coming in at around 6.35% against, pardon me, 8.6%, and that is largely on account of weakness that we have seen in the marketing performance, because that has been on the weaker side. We have Prabal Sen from Centrum Broking, who says that the refining performance, and don't forget that the gross refining margins come in at around $4.69 per barrel for the first quarter, has been slightly better, but when it comes to the some of the other aspects, we certainly have seen a decline. That said, we did see the stock close with gains of around 4%. We're going to have to wait for a few more brokerages before we can decide what to do with Indian Oil Corp. But from one Nifty company to another, Axis Bank is the other stock which is also in focus, but this time on the losing end. It's down 4.6%. And I have Shefali Malik with me, who's joining us to give us an idea about what's the reason behind this.
Well, the reason is that in the con call last evening, the management gave more disclosures on the asset quality, something which were, not disclosed earlier, not factored in by the street. Sure. So basically what the management says is that to the stressed groups which have been in focus since last couple of months, their total exposure is about 12,200 crore rupees, out of which 6,700 crore rupees is something which were not a part of the watch list reported by the management earlier, or the stressed assets. So it was 6,700 crore rupees outside of the stressed assets list. Other than that, 2,800 crores more of non-fund based exposure. So you're adding all of this, their total stressed assets work out to be 20,000 crore rupees. So including the existing watch list which the management had disclosed as part of the earnings. So this 20,000 crores works out to be around 4% of the total loans, which is much higher than 2.5% reported earlier. So as much as I could simplify, so 4% versus 2.5%, so basically higher, and that is something which the street didn't like, and hence the reaction on the stock price.
Okay, fair enough, Shefali. Thanks so much for joining us and getting us an update on Axis Bank. Watch out for that, and two other stocks we're also keeping an eye on. We have Sharad Dubey who's joining us to give us an update on the same. Sharad, what's on your list today?
Yes, two stocks have actually come up with a set of numbers. The first one being Apollo Tyres. Now you see the price reaction happening here. The results come out around 2 o'clock and the stock went up as high as almost ended the day at around 157 odd rupees. Now if you go through the numbers, this has actually marginally beat the estimates. Revenues are flat at around 4,331 odd crore rupees, and the net profit and EBITDA was down by almost 43% and 12%. But if we see on the gross margin basis, on a sequential basis, did actually increase by around 150 odd basis points despite elevated commodity prices coming in. However, these gains were limited as higher. It was offset by higher overheads. But however, the stock did react positively. Up next, we are having Allahabad Bank, which came out with its results as well today. But the stock reaction was positive the moment the results came and went up as high as 3%, but closed the day at 37 rupees per share. Now, if you go through the numbers, the net interest income is down 10% at around 1,530 odd crore rupees. But the bank, on the recapitalization was also happening, coming in from the bigger banks, from the government, I mean to say, and the profit stood at around 128 crores, while last year then there was a net loss of around 1,944 odd crore rupees. Now, looking at the GNPA stood at around 17.43% versus 17.5% on a Q-on-Q basis, while NNPA stood at around 5.71% versus 5.22% on a Q-on-Q basis. Apart from this, the bank also approved raising around 2,000 crore rupees via QIPs. So I think these two stocks were Agam, buzzing in the mid-cap space today due to the earnings.
All right, Sharad, thanks for getting us the other two stocks which are also in focus. So, once again, there's plenty of other things to keep an eye on. We will keep on getting earnings as well and reactions on the same. But on that note, it's a wrap on the markets, but there's lots more lined up. Stay tuned to Bloomberg.